So this is asking a private jet billionaire how to make $1 million, but we'll see.
For a year, you were saying?
About $1 million. Break-even costs. I mean, that doesn't include usage, really.
That doesn't include using it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I guess $1 million does kind of get you. Yeah, I guess normal usage would be about $1 million a year, or light usage.
And that's not even flying a lot?
Not even flying a lot. I would say that, yeah. If you flew at a fair amount, it'd be a little bit more than that.
So like this flight to Boston, like what does that cost?
It's probably going to be about direct operating costs are going to be, to me, would be about $17,000.
That was a very specific number. So you said you think content creation can be seen as a niche and produce and deliver the best content? For sure. I mean, that's what Mr. Beast does, right? But he's going for but value, the thing about content is that it's subjective. So it gets a little bit complicated because it's very subjective. Like the best content can mean a variety of things. So, to you, or to Mr. Beast, it's the most entertaining content, the content that's going to make somebody stay watching the video the longest. And that's great. For me, I think I can give the most value in the niche by being the most active. Literally, I think by interacting with you guys and answering your questions in real time and creating content this way that nobody else is doing, I think I can provide straight up more value. Even if my content is not the highest production value, it has the highest value in terms of like information. That's how I see it, at least. So that's what, that's the angle I'm taking. But definitely content creation is powerful. There's no denying it. And that's why people are focusing a lot on it these days. And it feels like all these billionaires or multimillionaires, decamillionaires, etc., are all starting to build their personal brands. It's not a coincidence. Certainly it's powerful. So definitely it is a good niche.
$100? Like I'll bet you like 20 Cash App.
That's
like
cool,
20.
man. Yeah.
Wow, this guy's so nice.
Send me some Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Before we get into the best part of the interview, I have got to tell you about the course I've relaunched, monthly1k.com. I created this course a couple years ago to help aspiring entrepreneurs like you get started and make their first $1,000 a month. I'm launching the course at an all-time low price of just $10. There's no subscription or anything else there. It's just $10.
My commitment when watching these videos, since, I'm obviously taking advantage of the incredible high quality production here for free, is to at the very least not skip the ads. Okay, so you're gonna have to suffer through a lot of ads if you start watching the streams, but it's the least we can do for this amazing content.
I really want everyone who's watching this video to be able to one day own a jet just like James. You can go sign up for yourself at monthly1k.com. Back to the interview.
I think when people think of someone owning a jet, like I think if I saw you at like the store, I'd be like, I don't know, who's this guy? You're not like Louis Vuitton and you have like some fancy bag. You're just dressed like a normal person, which I think we all judge way too much. I know I do. So I like reminding myself and the audience of that. Just like trying to be a little like less judgmental about who we see and what we think they are.
Yeah, I like to surprise people. I can do it either way. You're trying to retain who you are. You don't need to impress anybody. Who's a fuck?
Like, how do you think about your finances? You said like
That's so real and true. I love that. This guy's
some
awesome.
of the stuff like crypto hasn't done well. Like how have you thought about your money and spending it, or like doing this kind of trip?
I think of the economy in phases and what cycle I think they're in. I think we're entering, or have been, or entering into a winter. And I think winter time is when the strongest come out and survive. The wolves, the bears, whatever. Not the bears. I guess the bears were sleeping, but I feel like wintertime is when there's a lot of rebirth, there's a lot of death. But every time there's death, there's rebirth. You can't have one without the other. So you look at the Depression in the 1930s or any of the worst economic recessions we've ever had, that's typically been when we've had the most innovation coming out of that. So it usually is happening as we were going into winter. We were going into winter because seemed to be probably that the old ideas weren't working too good anymore.
Yeah.
It kind of burned out whatever energy that had, and we were going to be shifting into something new. You know, these different phases that people are trying to figure out. You know, in our macroeconomic trends, right? But I think that the people who do the best homework and are the most patient and are the most prepared, meaning they have cash on hand, ready to sweep in, get some good deals, are the ones that always succeed the most, because they know that when we're going through attractions, there's always going to be fear, and fear always causes fearful thinking, which causes us to think in a scarce mindset instead of abundantly. So suddenly everything's worth a lot less than you thought of before.
But like, well, not but. You were mentioning that like you had a crypto thing that went down. Like, how do you not panic? How do you still say, okay, I'm gonna make this decision to take the jet out, or instead of like Southwest, want to get away fare?
I don't get
Real quick, if you appreciate these clips and interviews that I put forward for you, then please make sure you use our Shopify link in the description to start your own Shopify business with an exclusive deal. And also make sure you check out akimulab.com for additional resources, free tools, guides, and just a lot of interesting stuff that will help your journey, even some software deals that are exclusive to akimulab.com. So make sure you do that and continue watching the video.
attach to any one thing too much. I could sell this thing tomorrow and fly commercial and be fine. I'm more about where I'm going and what I'm doing. My experience is not. You could take this away. It doesn't change my life at all.
What are you cheap on?
Man,
This guy's such a Chad. I love it. That's such a great energy. Just not being attached to anything. I feel that. I like that. I think that's a really powerful mindset, and I feel like that's exactly what an abundance mindset is all about. It's like it's like you're kind of indestructible at that point.
Times I buy something and they charge you a price that's so extreme and outrageous, you're like, it's insulting. It's like somebody slapped you across the face.
What's the story of that?
I don't know. I used to work at Subway when I was 19 years old. I made $5.75 an hour, and if that $5.75 an hour could buy me a certain amount, maybe a meal. I could take a girl out on a date. How many hours I have to work to buy a chick a $100 meal? $100 meal is a big meal. I go to a restaurant now, I get a steak. Every single steak is now $60 now.
Yeah.
It better be a damn good steak for $60. Because in my opinion, people don't make steaks very good anymore.
Agreed. Not worth
It's like I'm getting a half-ass steak out in town for an insane price. Yeah, things. That's when I start getting cheap. Like I'll cook it at home.
Bro's a billionaire and he's complaining about $60 steaks. I actually fuck with that because it's not about that's what he's saying. This is what I love. It's not about the price, it's about the principle, You're cooking me a bad steak and you're taxing me for it. Like, obviously he has the money to buy 20 million steaks at $60 a pop. But it's not about the steak, it's about the principle.